In August of 2024, we headed north to British Columbia. Join us for part 3 of our Grand Loop tour of British Columbia as we take a side trip to Telegraph Creek and then finish the northern half of the Cassiar Highway. Brought to you by Occidentalist Outdoors. Throughout our tour of British Columbia, we'd had luck finding great spots to camp at BC recreation sites. Rec sites are scattered throughout the province and feature minimally developed campsites. We pulled into this one and felt like we were the only ones for miles around. It wasn't uncommon to have a campsite and a lake all to ourselves. The lake we were paddling on this afternoon was no exception. Well, we did have to share it with the loons. Back on the Cassiar Highway the next day, we continued our trip north. Along with the crowds, the lines on the pavement seemed to be fading away. We also left the pavement behind for a day-long side trip to Telegraph Creek. The 70-mile-long gravel road to Telegraph Creek features some dramatic vistas of the landscape and parallels portion of the Grand Canyon of the Stickeen River. You might find the road described as steep and narrow, but we found it recently graded with almost no one else traveling it. However, there are a few narrow sections with 20% grades. Before you reach the village of Telegraph Creek, the road parallels the Grand Canyon of the Stickeen. After that Grand Canyon, Telegraph Creek was a little anticlimactic. Telegraph Creek boomed in the 1860s and 1870s as a gateway to the Yukon goldfields. Located on the Stickeen River, it was the uppermost point accessible to steamers bringing supplies and miners to the area. Like most boom towns, it appears to have seen its better days. Some days the journey is the real destination. With nearly the entire day behind us and back on the Cassiar from Telegraph Creek, it was time to find a spot to spend another day or two. Our narrow road through the woods looked about our speed, and soon we had another spot on a lake that would suit us just fine. I was even able to catch a northern pike while out on a paddle. Our last day on the Cassiar Highway started out rainy, but we were still able to see enough of the mountains to enjoy them. We were also able to add a fox to our wildlife sighted list, as we spotted this little fox carrying a rabbit across the road before it quickly disappeared into the woods. You'll never guess where we are.
Just for a short time, I'm thinking, but we're still here.
Yeah.
Yukon territory.
We made it to the Yukon. Just ending up the Cassiar Highway today with a short little stint in the Yukon, and then starting off on the Alaskan Highway headed south. So
lots of fun. Beautiful. Not too much wildlife today, but still we saw a fox.
Yeah, fox carting a rabbit off, and some nice mountains going through the Cassiar there.
Yeah.
So, all right, on to our next adventure. Here we go.
See you there.
Thanks for joining us on part 3 of our Grand Loop Tour of British Columbia. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss an episode. Until then, we'll see you on the trail.